Hey y'all, welcome to Friday's Kitchen. Welcome back if you have been here before. In today's video, we are making this delicious Southern Red Velvet Bundt Cake. If you are interested in seeing how I made this, stay tuned. Okay, so here are our ingredients for the cake. Here we have 2.5 cups of self-rising flour, 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda all mixed together. We have 1.5 cups of granulated sugar. Here we have 1 cup of buttermilk at room temperature along with 1 teaspoon of vinegar, 1.5 cups of vegetable oil. We have 3 eggs at room temperature. Here we have 1 ounce of red food coloring, and we also have vanilla extract. We will be using 2 tablespoons. Also not pictured right here, we will also need an 8-ounce package of softened cream cheese as well as 3 cups of powdered sugar. I will use that to make an icing for the cake once we put the cake into the oven. Okay, so we are going to start by adding our 3 eggs to the mixer. We're going to turn the mixer on at this point. You can't see, but we have mixed long enough to break the egg yolks, and now we're moving on to adding the vegetable oil to the bowl. Okay, let's get this adjusted so you guys can see inside the bowl a little better. Okay, so now we have mixed the oil and the eggs together. We are going to move on to slowly adding the granulated sugar to the mixture. Here we are going to add our vanilla extract to the mixture. My go-to amount is typically 2 tablespoons. You can adjust that if necessary for you. Okay, so now we are going to start adding our dry and wet ingredients. We're going to start with adding about 1/3 of the flour mixture, mix that in, and then add about 1/2 of the milk mixture. And we will go back and forth alternating between the two until we have used all of both. The most important thing to remember here is to always start with your dry mixture and end with your dry mixture. Okay, so now we are adding a little of the milk to the bowl. Remember, this is our buttermilk as well as our vinegar mixed together. Okay, so we're adding a little more of the flour mixture now. We are going to mix this in really well before adding the last bit of our milk mixture to the bowl. If my voice cracks a bit, please forgive me. I live in the South and pollen is terrible this time of year, so I'm trying to hang in there. Okay, so now we are adding the last bit of our flour mixture to the bowl. We are going to mix that in really well, and then we will be moving on to our next step. Okay, so now we are adding the 1 ounce bottle of red food coloring to the bowl. We are going to mix that in really well, and then we're going to turn the mixer off and scrape down the sides of the bowl. Okay, so we've done that. Now we're going to turn the mixer back on and give it another mix. We will be turning it off and scraping down the sides of the bowl one more time before we're done. All right, so we've turned the mixer off again, and we're taking a moment to scrape down the sides of the bowl one final time. Okay, so here we are turning the mixer on one last time. Give everything one final mix. Okay, so here is our bundt pan. We are going to spray it really well with some Baker's Joy. Now we're going to carefully pour our cake batter evenly around the pan. We are going to tap the pan against the counter a couple times to help release any air. I baked this cake at 350 degrees for a total of 1 hour. Again, the time that you bake may depend on your oven, so I would just recommend keeping a very close eye on it during the baking process. So here we are going to make the icing for the cake. I mentioned these ingredients earlier. We have 1 8-ounce package of softened cream cheese with 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and we are going to slowly add in 3 cups of powdered sugar. You can absolutely use a hand mixer or even a stand mixer for this portion. I just like to make things difficult sometimes, so I decided to do it by hand. But anyway, will work. It really doesn't matter how you go about doing it. Here I am adding 1 cup of powdered sugar. I'm going to mix that in before adding the second cup, and again, I will be using a total of 3 cups. At this point, you guys should be used to me making a mess, and I really didn't want to disappoint you in this video, so I decided to do it again. Now that that has been mixed in pretty well, I am adding another cup of powdered sugar. Here we are adding the third and final cup of powdered sugar to the mixture. Okay, so our icing is all done now, and now that our cake has been removed from the pan and has had time to cool, we are going to go ahead and ice the cake. So here you can see the icing is a little softer in appearance. I actually popped it into the microwave for about 15 seconds. I wanted it to be easier to ice the cake and so that it would drip off the sides a little bit. So here I am just placing the icing on the cake. Now here I am taking the spoon and just kind of smoothing it out a little, which will also help with the icing dripping down the sides of the cake a little bit. It is still pretty thick, which is how I wanted it, so it's not going to drip down like a typical glaze would, but I just want it to come down on the sides a little bit. Here we have our chopped pecans, and I am just going to open the package and start to sprinkle those over the top of the cake. All right, y'all, and just like that, we are done. Here we have our super moist and delicious Southern red velvet cake. It smells so good. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section. I thank you guys so very much for watching. While you're here, I hope you take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe. Come back for some more recipes. Again, I thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.